Fabrizio Romano has given a transfer update with regards to Rodrigo, and he has spoken about his Real Madrid future. He's only played 27% of the minutes in La Liga that he should have, in my opinion, in this season. He's practically sat on the bench the whole campaign. Nwaneri, could he leave in January? That is a serious question that's being asked. Where does he play? Is he behind Max Taumann now in the pecking order? Let me know your thoughts down below. And as well as Semenyo, how does he fit in the Arsenal team currently? Or does he join another team? £65 million. David Ornstein said a couple of days ago that Bournemouth could be powerless, have no power in this transfer saga, in this transfer negotiation. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. We're only a few days away from Premier League football being back. This international break has dragged like no other. The North London derby is only a few days away. Make sure you go down and hit that subscribe button too, and let me know your thoughts on every single transfer story that we discuss. I want to start by talking about this report coming out from Transfer News Live. Now, the Mail Sport are very much hit and miss. They was very reliable on the Alexander Isak saga. They get a lot of things right, but they get a lot of things wrong. But this report says Nwaneri could leave Arsenal on loan in January to get the attacking midfielder more game time and more starts. Now, Nwaneri, I'm a big fan of his. Last season, he come through as a 17-year-old, had a really, really good season, played a lot of minutes when Martin Odegaard was out injured. But then as soon as Martin Odegaard come back, he wasn't really hugely seen, was he? He's only played 5 of 11 Premier League games this season, and he's only played 2 of a possible 4 Champions League games. He has also played 2 games in the League Cup out of 2 with 1 goal. Now, in terms of his overall season this season, I do think he should have had more game time. I'm not going to lie to you guys. He's only played 163 minutes in the Premier League, and he's played 82 in the Champions League. In the League Cup, he's played maximum. He's played 90 out of 90 in the first game and 90 out of 90 in the second game. Do we actually think he would leave? I think a loan deal is probably the most realistic. He was on the bench against Olympiacos and against Bilbao. Did play 17 minutes against Atletico Madrid and 65 against Slavia Prague. But if you do the math, if you do 163 divided by 5, he's only played 32 minutes each Premier League game out of the 5 he has played. Now, we know he signed a new contract, which would keep him at the club until 2030. He's been used largely from the bench this season, making 9 appearances in total. Now, when you actually look at his Premier League minutes, if you look at, let me bring it up from transfermarket.co.uk, this is what it basically says. He didn't play in the Newcastle game, was on the bench against Fulham, Palace, Sunderland, Man United, and Liverpool. Played 52 minutes against Leeds, 6 minutes against Man City, 15 minutes against West Ham, 18 against Burnley. The most amount of minutes he's played is 72 in the Premier League. So he isn't really hugely favoured in the Premier League. His Champions League minutes, maximum he's played is 65. When he come on in the 23rd minute, I think he actually started that game. League Cup, he's played 90 and 90. I do believe a loan move for someone like Nwaneri probably right now would make a lot of sense, because when you look at the options they've got for the 10 role, they've got Eberechi Eze, Marino has played there, Martin Odegaard will be back soon from injury. I know they're going to have a lot of games to play this season, but if you're a Nwaneri, you want to essentially play as much minutes as you can. And the goal would probably be to break into the England setup and cement your place there. Miles Skelly is another one who Thomas Tuchel has challenged and essentially said, if you want to make the World Cup squad, you need to go out there and get more minutes. Again, Lewis Skelly, you've got Nkapie that can play at left back. You've got Calafiori who starts. So unless you're Lewis Skelly and you want to cement that England spot, you're going to need minutes. The only way it looks like he's going to start Premier League games week in, week out is if there's an injury to Calafiori. Now, I don't believe that he would go out on loan personally, but as it stands, could we see Nwaneri make a loan move out in January, get more game time? I don't necessarily think. I think if he was to leave, it'd be a transfer. Nagelsmann has said Kai Havertz has had a minor relapse on his injury, but overall, he's doing well. He's expected to return towards the end of the year. Now, that kind of tells me, according to that from Romano, that he's likely to return after probably December. Now, Romano has spoken about Rodrigo and this saga yet again. This is what he said. My place at Real Madrid, there's not much I can do. Just work hard every training session. It's there where I can try to get the confidence from the manager as I have from Ancelotti. Now, it's not a dig at Alonso. It's reminding him that he does have confidence from Ancelotti, a manager that got the best out of him in that Real Madrid team, a manager that made Rodrygo, win the Champions League. But again, if you look at Rodrigo's minutes, he has only averaged 25 minutes a game out of the 10 La Liga games he's played in, and he's only averaged 31.5 minutes in the 3 Champions League games he's played. This is a player I believe will be leaving January or the summer. Now, Chelsea have been heavily linked. We know Liverpool are huge admirers. Again, Arsenal are looking at that left wing position. Now, the amount of wingers that have been linked from Kvaratskhelia, from Nico Williams, Gordon, Rafa Leao, Rodrigo. Again, people are putting two and two together. And then there was a tweet regarding Rodrigo and Arsenal, and it come out from Football 365 that basically said Arsenal have settled a deal which is 60 million plus a further 20 million in achievable bonuses for Real Madrid winger. Madrid manager Alonso is willing to accept such an approach as the Brazilian has not established himself as a starter this season. Rodrigo has only played 24% of the available minutes from Madrid this season after hardly featuring at the Club World Cup. Now, I'll be honest, I think if he's going to leave, this would be more of a summer move. I'm not necessarily sure Arsenal would go and drop 60, 70, 80 million pounds on a Rodrigo. But again, it would depend on a number of things. The overall health of the squad. Is there many injuries? Is there huge problems when it comes to the injuries? Let's say if Bukayo Saka and Madueke were to get injured, you would imagine Arsenal would act in the transfer market. But again, Gabriel Jesus is linked to a move away. Kai Havertz isn't fit. Nwaneri's linked to a move away. Could they go and do it anyway? Well, the Semenyo one has come up yet again, and Arsenal have been linked to him. I don't necessarily think at this moment in time they are the favourites. I am going to make a video on this tomorrow and why I think Semenyo would be the perfect option for Liverpool. But the AFCV newsroom has put out this yesterday saying Antoine Semenyo on the team he supports. He said, I'm an Arsenal fan. I don't conflict the two with my job. It's great to play against Arsenal, a team I've watched my life, and I want to play for the top clubs as well. In order for that to happen, I need to prove it. So make of that what you will. Lots of people are saying he's going to join Arsenal because he's an Arsenal fan. AFC Extra, I've gone out and said Antoine Semenyo prefers a move to Arsenal than any other club in England. Whether that's true, we'll have to wait and see. We know Richard Hughes, the ex-Bournemouth footballing director, part of that footballing team that helped bring him to Bournemouth back in 21-22. He's now at Liverpool. Could they see him as a more long-term replacement, to Antoine to someone like Mohamed Salah. You know, Indy put this out back end of October, and part of it says Antoine Semenyo bid will be submitted by Liverpool. All is expected to happen in the next 2 months. Mark Gahey's got his eyes set on Liverpool as well. It's going to be a very, very interesting situation. This left-wing saga that, again, is getting huge news all over the socials. This happens normally when there's an international break. Transfers kind of come to the surface again. Arsenal have got 3 huge fixtures this week. They've got Spurs at the weekend, and I actually feel confident we can get something against Arsenal, especially with Gabriel out injured. Who's going to come in at centre-back? I think it will be Hincapié. And then they've got Bayern Munich, and then they have got Chelsea. So 3 huge fixtures towards the end of this month, where in the next kind of 11 days or so, we will really see what this Arsenal team is made of, considering the amount of injuries that they have got out. If you look at the injured players both teams have got, it's unbelievable. We've got Gray, Davis, Kulusevski, Solanke, Maddison, Kota, Takai, Lucas Bergval, Mohamed Kudus, Dragusin, Kolo Muani, and Bisu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got an entire squad out injured. But Arsenal have got injuries to Martinelli, Kai Havertz, Odegaard, Noni Madueke, Calafiori is expected to be back. And, of course, Gabriel. He's out for, according to 4 to 8 weeks, according to David Ornstein, which actually come out yesterday. India has actually said the Antoine Semenyo saga is moving fast. We've been given a clearance to give major update at 10 p.m. Very important news seen by football fans worldwide. All retweets are appreciated. That is what Indy has just said. Now, David Ornstein put this out yesterday, saying that Arsenal continue to assess Gabriel. 27-year-old could miss 1 to 2 months for a thigh injury. Fortunately for them, they've got Ben White, who can play centre-back, Timber, who can play centre-back, and Capier, Mosquera, and Saliba. They'll be absolutely fine. Make sure you drop a like, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.